No, you have to vote. Don't type in the chat. That will not help it. Okay, I think we're live on YouTube right now, right? Take that off. Can somebody confirm that it's live on YouTube, please? Okay, thank you. So good afternoon to our YouTube visitors. For those who log on to YouTube, we still have 2 more minutes before we start, so you're a little early, but that's okay. Now that you come in early, we can probably go get a trade, all of us. Wouldn't it be good to do a live trade here? But before I do that, let me start the recording here. We're still 1 minute. Let's wait a minute and then we'll start the recording. Yes, for those in the Zoom room, don't forget to click to, panelists and attendees so everybody sees your messages. I don't think the YouTube people sees it. So we had a poll. I'll end the poll now. We still have about 10 people to vote, but I'll just end the poll because it doesn't look like they want to click. I think the YouTube people can see the poll if I put it out here, right? I'm not sure you guys can see it. Can you guys see it? If I launch it, let me just end the poll and launch it. And then share the results so you can see. Those in YouTube, you'll have to look at my screen to see the results, which is the choice was whether we're going to do the pound or the euro pound today, and everybody chose, well, the majority chose the pound. So we'll be doing the pound dollar, right? It means we can do the euro pound next week because tomorrow and Friday I'll be off. I'll be traveling. So I wouldn't be able to do it. So I'll stop sharing the results. And let's go to the dollar pound. So let me start the recording. Good afternoon, traders. This is recording now. Welcome to the daily videos, educational videos we do. And the feedback was amazing. Those who couldn't vote on YouTube send me a ton of messages saying, yes, it's helping them. Well, if it's helping you, here is one thing you can do. Help somebody else. Please share it. Let's get more people to see these videos. Even if they don't come live, let more people see the videos because there are only about like 3,000 people watching the videos out of even 13,000 subscribers. I don't know why they subscribe if you're not looking at these videos because they're amazing, right? They really work. And if you look at them, we've done quite a lot of them. And I want you to actually do this weekend. Go back and look at these. You'll see how amazing because the New Zealand went perfectly as we expected. Pound Swiss is now still in that consolidation as we expected. It's going to break out. It's going to be a really good trade. Silver did almost perfectly what we expected to do. I'll take a view of silver again. Euro yen, still not sure. We weren't sure what it's going to do, and it's still not clear what it's going to do, but we have the two options and we know what to expect from them, right? Aussie, same thing. Aussie is actually going very slowly down. There's still a correction to happen, which hasn't happened as yet. Euro Oz kind of consolidating, but downwards looking. The downwards starting to look like a correction, so you'll be careful with that, right? If it makes that corrective structure down, it's going to make one more impulse up. What else we had? We had the pound yen. Well, the pound yen is still in that sideways move. It hasn't broken out as yet, and it's actually making one more low. And the US CAD. The CAD is, as somebody just said, it exactly what you said it's going to do yesterday. So you can expect the CAD to go up some more again. It's still in the consolidation. Let's go. Today we'll be looking at the pound dollar. So let's start. Let's go from monthly. And let's start from here. This is what we have on the pound dollar. So I know I'm not polling now, so you guys will not be able to answer the question. But for those of you who are new to my channel, who haven't seen what I've done before, who are not following me for the last 2 years, you will probably not know this. But exactly at this point, here is a question. I should have polled the question. Do you think anyone in the world exactly at that point could have forecast that there's going to be a down move like this? That was way before Brexit, right? So that was, when was that? That would be, remember, I didn't plan what I'm going to do today, so I couldn't prepare with chart. That was in 2014. Brexit was when? 2015, 16, when was Brexit? Last year? 2016, right? 2 years before Brexit, somebody tell you that exactly from this point, you're going to watch the pound make a bigger move to break this low. Any one of you think that is possible? Well, let's go with those who think it's not possible. If you think that was not possible, give me an N. Because that was exactly the forecast I made. And you can find that chart. Actually, I think we can find it if you go to my ProWave page. You go to, let's see, I'll find it pretty fast. You have to go to where are the videos? Let's see, photos. And you have to go to this, I think the pound, the one with the pound dollar. We'll have to go to not cover photo album. I think the album's right. I'm not sure where we can find it right now, but it has to be somewhere in the albums, one of the albums, right? Not the timeline photos. These are just the photos. Let's see if we can get it in here. Untitled album, timeline photos. Create an album. Where is see all? Let's see all the albums. Not that one. Sorry. Take this off. I'm not sure why I can't see them as the albums in there. Because it's in the pound dollar album. When you go to the pound dollar album, you will see it there. Photos about. It's supposed to be here. Let me see. Photos again. Let's go back to that and see if we can find it. That's cover photo group. All photos, all photos. We're not looking for all photos. Let's look for the album. Great British Pound one. Let's see all the photos if we can get them. We'll probably find it in very fast this way. Yep, we'll find it now. It's going to be in the, I think you're going to find it in the pound album. Let's see. Yep, pound USD album. Let's see if it's in here. Nope, that one only has 2 photos. So it has to be somewhere in the long-term album. But you guys can check it. If I don't find it, you guys can check it. It's somewhere in one of these big moves, I think. This one has 2, let's see, big moves in the pound coming. Can't tell you which one. I think it's somewhere in one of these. If I can find it. Oh, this was the second one. This was the second part of this coming down. The first forecast was from the top. Oh, somebody already find it for me, right? So good. No, this is the second one. Actually, the very first one we made from the top coming. So you'll find it. Search it, you'll find it. It's there. There's a very, very first forecast that we made before we even made, oh, here is it. Got it there. So you see when it's exactly at the top, see that B wave there? Even before this piece happened, at the very, very top there. At the very top, before Brexit, I said this thing is going to come and break the low. That was in when? The date should be here. Yes, March 14, 2015. Brexit was 2016. See? So can you make forecasts and do their work? Yes, they do. So you don't need news events to make the forecast. You need to understand how structure should behave on all time frame. We got the first piece. This was the update. If you have that first piece, expect it to keep going more. And that's what it did. But those are long-term forecasts. Those are not the forecasts you will be trading. So let's go. The forecast you will be trading would be these, right? So you can actually see that all of this. So what we are seeing right now is the move over. Is this thing actually going to go back up now? That's the question, right? Right now, the way this is going up structurally, I'm not seeing an up wave. What we see is that there's a possibility for this to make one more move down and then start the up move, which means there is a big up move coming. It is coming. I'm telling you now, it's coming. Regardless of what you think is going to happen in the world, that one is coming. Right? But first, there's one more to the downside that you need to catch. There's a big move to the downside, and it could be a pretty big drop. At least we will expect that drop to break this low. Let me put it. You would expect that to break this low and then start going back up, right? They will break that low, and then we'll expect the up move to start. That's the forecast we're working on right now. So let's go down to the weekly. And the weekly, you can see this up move going. It's pretty slow. There is only one chance that this is the start of the up move. If the pattern we think this is making is starting some kind of a leading diagonal pattern. Right now, it's it's not possible to make that because we don't have enough pieces in it to say it's a leading diagonal. Or if it's making a WXYXZ pattern, comes back for a deeper correction and then go, right? We will see that. If this is the start of the up move, this is your first impulse, that's your pullback, this is your second impulse. We're looking for a pullback here. We're looking for another impulse. If we get something like this going up there, we will get a corrective structure here, and this will confirm the continuation of the up move. If that doesn't happen, which means if we don't get that pattern, there's a likelihood they'll break this low first and then start moving up very, very aggressively. But this is a lot of pips to trade, right? Most of you are trading within this little piece here, trying to get at least 50 pips out of that. So if you manage to get one of these big trades, and you can get them because we do make those forecasts, right? We do, you know, there was a forecast here and this thing going down. We'll come to that later on. I'm on the FMC, yes, it's on the FMC chart, so you'll see that. So what you're looking for is, can we get this move down? Definitely. So let's go on the daily. And on the daily, you can see that we've already made an impulse. We're already making sideways move. We need to break that top, and then we're going to look for this to go down. That might be the start of a fall. So you want that trade. You definitely want that trade. Now, even if it's just one impulse to the downside and then they start going back up, you want at least this impulse, because then we're going to get a fifth wave up, and then we're going to get the deeper correction, right? So let's see. Right now, this is going up. If you were following me for a couple of days, I was telling you that was going to go up. So let's look at the daily forecast. Is there any way we could actually have told? I don't know if I have any of them on here because I wasn't much into this is a small one. This is within this pullback. That is showing you that this here will pull back. This piece here will pull back downwards. And we were looking for a 1, 2, 3 here before it goes back up. Actually, they made a 1, 2, 3 there. So you can look at this to see. That's a structure. And we're looking for that down move, right? We're looking for this to come back up here. 1, 2, we thought we'll finish at 3 there and then come back. They did go up some more, but they made the structure. This became more extended. You see, this did go up, but this wave became more extended. And well, that's a case where you start buying those. So right now we're looking for this to come down. This one doesn't have more to go extended because they started with an impulse already there. So come back here, and this is the one I want you to see. These are good ones. You can look at this pattern what we're looking at. We're looking at that, come back to the top here and then come down, right? You had a 1, 2, 3. This did go up. It went up differently. We changed that forecast slightly. You can see it did go up to this top and then down. Came down, became more aggressive because of Brexit. So could you have told that one was going to go up? Well, let's see if we can. I think it was this one, or there was one at the top there in the daily. Let's see, in the 4-hour. I think it was in the 4-hour. We had that very top, the forecast from the very, very top coming down. Yep, that was it. That was a day before Brexit, right? 1 day, wave count. Before the big day, before the Brexit day. And we said, watch this thing. It's going to come up here for a C wave, and then you're going to go down, right? That would complete this pattern. And then you're looking for that to fall. We all know what happened, right? You don't even want me to go. That's where the forecast was made, and that is how much it went up and then starting to fall. We forecast this upwards. So most people were thinking that this was a breakout, and that this one is going to go downwards. We said, well, if it comes a little more down, we're still going up, right? If more downside, I'll not be traded since I don't have a clear setup for a sell, which means we're looking for a setup for a buy. Well, we got the buy. You know that went up, so we got that buy. This was a sell setup. Do we know it's going to come down? Yes, we thought that was going to come down all the way to the bottom here when it break. It did break that structure, came down. You got a trade to this level. It went up back, and you got another sell setup. And pretty much we thought this sell setup was it. That was the end of it. This thing is going to come down here now, right down. It did come, make a 3-wave structure, went up back. We forecast the sell from the top, and then it fall. So can you make forecasts? Of course you can make forecasts. The problem with corrective structures is they tend to change, right? We are always looking for a simple 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and you sell the top there, right? If you look at this, a sell setup. This one here, right? Sell setup. So after the 3, we think that's the simplest corrective structure you have, 1, 2, 3. After that, this should come down. Very often, they become more complicated. They make another 1, 2, 3 here, go back up, making this 1, 2, 3 there. You get a 1 wave, a 2 wave, a 3 wave, and then that's it. See? So it becomes complicated, but as it develops, you can see that as it's developing, we're changing, right? We got this move down. That's a lot of pips there. That's more than 100 pips. You can get 50 pips out of that if you want. There's another sell setup from that top. There's another sell setup somewhere in here. There's another sell setup, I think, in the 60 minutes. And then there's that sell setup, right? Remember, we're not buying in structures like these. Once I see structures like these, I'm not a buyer. I'm a seller. I'm a seller. I'm a seller. I'm a seller. Because that's a corrective structure. You know the big move is going downwards. So well, let's come to where we are today. What am I doing right now? Remember what I said? I'm selling this. I don't care. From here, I told you guys, likely it's going to go back up if you're following the weekly outlook. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in this one. So let it go up. Look for a sell setup because you're going to get the big move to the downside, which will be big. It's going to be fast because it's impulsive. So let's see what's happening there now. Basically, this is one big corrective structure right now. I don't think it's the start of the move to the upside. It could be if they make one particular pattern, that I said, like a leading diagonal or a very, strange way, kind of impulsive move, but very flat. They do have those types. Then it will change when it makes the corrective structure. So it still has to go down as a corrective structure before it goes back up. And that means we'll be ready for it. So what are we looking for? A sell setup. Let's go right into the 1 hour for you guys. 1 hour, what you expect it? You expect this to come here. This morning, I was showing my traders that trade up to the top there and then down. Somewhere along this line here. I don't know exactly where it's going to stop. If you ask me, I have no idea. I don't have a crystal ball. So right now, you're getting a setup almost for a buy. It's not depending on your strategy, depending on how you trade. You decide whether you want that trade, but I'm not making a trade call here. I'm just telling you whatever I expect it to go, right? Because I have no right to make trade calls in webinars like these, right? It's not allowed. I think it's even illegal. I don't know. I'm not making trade calls, but this is a nice trade you can look for short term, but then you definitely want the trade to the downside. You don't miss the trade to the downside, right? Going up nicely. We saw this one. We saw that one. We saw, well, this one we didn't forecast. We saw this one. Nice. How many? 50 pips for you guys? Probably about 50 pips you can get in that trade. Depends on where you get it, where you put it. Yeah, you can get about 73 pips there. And then the big move to the downside. That's what it is. 16 minutes. Today is a long webinar. We're already 16 minutes into it, right? And after that, we'll be looking for the big move to the downside. Somewhere above that top. I'm not sure exactly where. Maybe you get 100 pips if you go for it, right? You'll be looking for that one. Make sure if you're taking a trade, you have your own strategy that you're using and it fits whatever you are trading. Not what I say. What I say is not a trading strategy, right? You have to have a strategy. So for those in your YouTube, as usual, I cannot add you to the questions. You have to use the link for the Zoom webinar. A lot of people are still asking me, where is that link for Zoom? Well, it's on my Twitter. If you don't have Facebook, it's on my Facebook page. But if you don't use Facebook, just follow me on Twitter and you will get it. Let me put my, not the notification, my tweets, home and my tweets, you'll get it. And you go in my tweets. And that's all you get here every day. You get the link and you get the recording. I hope you guys can help retweet them when I put them. I got 12 retweets. That's 143 of you in here and probably the next 100 in YouTube. So tomorrow, well, not tomorrow, next week, it should be like 300 retweets, right? You follow me here and just retweet it. Somebody else will see it and they'll tell you thank you for it. So it doesn't take you a long time to do that, right? I think, how long would it tell you to click retweet? I think I deserve a second of your time, right? So you can just go there, click retweet. And it doesn't matter if you don't have people on your Twitter who are traders. You never know, maybe one of them is. But even if you don't have, it's okay, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the recording and I'll show you silver. I'll keep the live webinar in for 2 more minutes. So that let's keep the webinar because somebody's asking about silver. And silver is making a nice trade setup. So let me show you that one and then we'll stop the recording. It's going to be 20 minutes, pretty long. XAG. So you're getting a nice setup actually for a sell. I think they should come and break the low. We were expecting them from the top. We said, watch this to come and break this low and then go back up. I don't think this is going to go up. It could go as a contracting flat, but rarely, we hardly see those contracting flats so much. So there's a good chance they will make an attempt, you know, go up a little and then drop like this and maybe tag the low. I hope they do tag the low because that would be a nice regular flat, right? We don't want a contracting flat. And then they go up. It's going to be one more up to this area here, breaking this top, one more down, breaking this low, probably going a little deeper and then up again. All in all, it will be one big corrective structure in the middle here. Something, I hope it's something like this. It doesn't have to be like this, but we're hoping it's something like that, right? Come back here and then start going up. So if you're a long-term buyer in silver, look around 15, 15.50. 16. This is your buy area if you're going to buy long term. If you're buying short term, well, you got to look to buy here. You can look to sell this. You can look to buy if it drops there and take your profit once it breaks that up. See? Pretty easy. Nothing difficult. And guess what? They actually go very close to those patterns. If there's a change in the pattern, we'll check it. So far, I don't see a change in this pattern. So I think this one is going okay. Wait for that trade. Okay, guys, I'll stop the recording because it's already 19 minutes. It's supposed not to be more.